What up, guys? Welcome to the channel today. Before we start, I just want to say that I have a really bad cold today. That's why I sound like this. But let's let's do it.
Nothing is real.
Nothing is real.
So the CIA once tried talking to dolphins, and shortly after they made it illegal for anyone else to ever talk to them ever again. You see, dolphins are actually some of the smartest animals on Earth. According to ChatGPT, they're second only to the great apes, which are like 99.9% human. The CIA picked up on this, and during the Cold War in the 1960s, they wanted to gain any tactical advantage over the Soviets that they could. So along with the US Navy, they started testing on the possibility of a dolphin-human connection under the marine mammal program, training mainly dolphins as spies for military use and espionage, in order to help the Navy detect underwater mines and subs, recover equipment lost in the ocean, and also find out what else might be down there. Here are one of the few man-dolphin communication reports prepared for the US Navy, which you can read through online. During the same time, other communication research led by Dr. John C. Lilly, funded by NASA and the US Navy, ran their own experiments deliberately aimed at talking to dolphins, where a dolphin named Peter actually ended up falling in love with a human woman, Margaret, who became so obsessed with her he didn't even want to mate with female dolphins anymore. And after being separated from Margaret, he was so devastated that he voluntarily held his breath until he himself. Which, yes, dolphins are mammals. They don't have gills and can't breathe underwater. They're just always holding their breath and breathe through their blowholes when they surface. Pretty wild, I know. This experiment got kinda dark before it was shut down, and it's all in the official reports. Well, these experiments allegedly developed a system that allows us to interpret a dolphin's clicks and whistles into structured information, so we can understand what they're trying to tell us, and in turn translate human speech into dolphin whistle words via electronic devices. While the dolphins may have told them something they didn't expect, and also didn't want anyone else to know. On official record, the experiments were inconclusive, and no real progress with dolphin communication was achieved. But just a few years later, in 1972, they enacted the MMPA, the Marine Mammal Protection Act, which specifically prohibits human interaction with marine mammals in particular due to their enhanced cognitive ability, which is oddly specific because mammals make up only about 0.1% of all marine life. On paper, the act prohibits harassment and disturbing marine mammals, which is fair and also a great cover story, as it describes level B harassment as the potential to disturb a marine mammal by causing disruption of behavioral patterns, which is an extremely broad definition, and something as simple as trying to communicate with dolphins would technically fall under this. But what could have the dolphins told the CIA and the US Navy that caused them to ban us from ever talking to them? Oh yeah, aliens, they're in our oceans, aren't they? Countless recent testimonies from US Navy and other government whistleblowers revealed that UFOs commonly come in and out of our oceans. Military reports of unknown objects moving underwater at hundreds of miles an hour, faster than any aquatic animal or underwater craft we've ever made. Speculation of alien bases and UFO factories at the bottom of our ocean has been brought up many times in past UAP hearings. Strange anomalies on the ocean floor that appear to be moving around, or just massive underwater structures that were once there and are no longer visible from satellite view. Not gonna lie, if I was an alien, the ocean would probably be the best place to set up camp, because now more recently, US Representative Tim Burchett revealed that there are entities that have been on Earth for thousands of years that are emerging from the oceans in 5 to 6 sites around the world. His words. If anyone would be in close communication with these entities, it would be marine life, more specifically the ones smart enough to communicate, like dolphins. And now it's illegal for us to talk to them, because if we did, maybe they'd expose something they didn't want us to know. Dolphin researcher John C. Lilly even stated that he believed dolphin communication could be a gateway to knowledge far beyond human comprehension. Maybe not just aliens and UFO bases, but perhaps Atlantis and other advanced civilizations of our past that have sunk to the bottom of our oceans. Hey, the jig is up, dolphins. Tell us what you know.
I'm pretty sure that chick gave the dolphin LSD and jerked him off, and that's why he he like fell in love with her. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, based on some things that I saw in other videos. I feel really bad for the editor of this video because I keep getting up to blow my nose and sneeze every like 2 minutes. Oh wait, I'm the editor. Fuck. But anyway, yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know if they were able to actually communicate with dolphins, but I think pretty cool. There's this dolphin at the park by the beach here by me. Is always just right up there, tries to play with the dogs and hangs out with the people. I guess he doesn't have a pod, so he's like by himself, so he just like lives there and hangs out with humans and stuff. And I can see that being like a reason why they don't want people to interact with dolphins, because like that dolphin here might get used to, you know, just being around us and becoming dependent on us and not out being a dolphin with other dolphins. But I definitely like the idea of dolphins talking to Atlanteans and aliens way more.
Trump's ballroom.
Dude, I've heard some conspiracies about this.
Yeah, the kicker, Trump is not using taxpayer money.
Oh.
He has some donors.
Ooh.
You ready for these donors?
I guess.
Google, Apple, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, Palantir,
Typical.
T-Mobile.
One of these
Sponsored
things
by
is not
T-Mobile.
like the other. Yeah.
Here's where it gets weird. Now it's going to be over $300 million for this 90,000 square foot ballroom. $3,330 a square foot. Way outside the standard of what you pay per square foot for a building.
So what are they spending so much money on?
A theory is that they're building an underground database center.
Yeah, there you go.
A couple years ago, Israel built a underground data center. They paid $319 million for this.
That's got to be it.
So this ballroom is costing about the same
Yeah.
as what this data center cost in
But
Jerusalem.
not nearly as big.
Well, that's just the surface.
Yeah.
Because they're just building a ballroom.
Yeah.
But what's going to be underneath?
And why are all these people interested in
And
investing in it?
They would all invest
Yeah.
because they don't want to be excluded.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
bro.
In 2008, when everyone was telling me to get rid of my MySpace and to get a Facebook, I was right. I should have stuck with MySpace.
Who made MySpace?
Tom.
Tom.
The legend.
You don't know Tom?
MySpace Tom?
The original OG, the all-time MVP, Tom from MySpace. Man, he didn't want anything from you. He just wanted you to have fun, be able to rate your friends on who you were the most upset with and happy with that day in your top 8. Put whatever songs you want on your profile, make it look however you want. Man, MySpace was awesome. You actually just hang out and talk to your friends and make new friends and just listen to music and find new bands without being like shoved a bunch of ads in your face. Without being shoved a bunch of ads in your face. I can't even think right now. Jesus.
There's a town in America stuck in the 1950s.
Listen, they call these places controlled alternative living environments, okay? Project started back in the 50s. Said they wanted cultural preservation, but I mean, there's no excuse to convince a town full of people that the rest of the world is in shambles, right? And so look, they'd went into these towns, manipulated their local media, right? Came in with rehearsed news bits about apocalyptic phenomena taking place out in the world, set a perimeter around the borders so nobody could leave, right? I mean, the people were so afraid. I mean, picture literal forced containment, okay? Fast forward through the 60s, 70s, 80s, up until present day, nothing in these places has changed, right? These people are still living in the same sort of snapshot image of this town from 1956, literally at this moment. Completely unaware of the rest of the outside world's advancement, literally just unknowingly controlled by a group of overseeing intelligence agents.
Bro, come get me and drop me off in the 1980s town. They're like the late 80s, even early 90s. Just do that. Now I can still watch all my favorite I'm dying right now. 80s and 90s films. Like Nickelodeon, early 90s Nickelodeon would be awesome. Yeah, I think early 90s would be sick. Just like relive my childhood throughout my adult life. That'd be pretty tight. Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. Psh, let's go, baby. Wouldn't it be wild if like this was what they were doing in Antarctica though? Like, that's why we couldn't go there, because the whole world was just like because the whole world is basically, for whatever reason, experimenting on how people lived during those decades, even though it just happened recently. I don't know why they would need to do that, but you know, why not? Maybe they are because they can.
Across the desert plains of Peru, something incredible lies etched into the earth. Hundreds of giant designs, a hummingbird, a spider, perfect geometric shapes, carved directly into the sand over 2,000 years ago. Some stretch for miles, yet you can only see them properly from the sky. But here's the question. The Nazca people couldn't fly, so why make art only gods could see? Were they messages to the heavens, an ancient calendar, or something far stranger, a signal meant for whatever was watching from above?
Yeah, I think it's probably just them trying to talk to the gods. I'm definitely not opposed to them communicating with aliens that they talk to that like maybe left, you know, like aliens came here and did stuff and taught them things, and then they left, and they tried to stay in contact with them after they left. But I mean, either way, it's kind of the same thing, right? Them talking to what they consider gods.
Bird app, and what it's showing is a giant wall of ice under Antarctica. And this wall of ice seems to be going to the very bottom of the ocean, but also running underneath the sand. I do wonder why this video is not more public than it should be. You know, you figure they find these giant walls that all of science would know. And by the way, look at the color of this so-called wall of ice. It looks very similar to something that's above our head. And then coming across that video, it reminded me a ton of Admiral Byrd's expedition to Antarctica. And the footage we have of that, which most people aren't even aware of. The only way you even come across is if you look really heavily into it. But there was like crazy, crazy tall ice that they had to literally do a high jump to get onto. I'm gonna fast forward right now because they literally had hundreds of miles of just a giant, giant wall of ice. I wonder why we're not talking about this.
Dude, my nose is so red from sneezing and blowing my nose all day. Oh my god. My face was like sore. But was there video evidence of Admiral Byrd's excursion? I don't know about that. I'm gonna guess we had, camcorders, but they were massive back then. They were like huge. You have to take like a whole film crew with you on an excursion of his to go find Nazis. Like, I don't think that would be top priority to record what they're doing, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know below. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong a lot. But I'm cool with that because I'm just giving my opinion and insight based on things that I've seen. And you're here to correct me if you want.
Do you ever notice when you enter a new area that the simulation loads more people in? You look out your window and your street is quiet and calm. But once you go outside, then everyone starts loading in and you have a few cars going by. Maybe someone's walking a dog. Maybe there's some kids on bikes. Or when you go to a restaurant and it's empty, but then after a few minutes, a bunch of people start showing up. Is that just the simulation loading in NPCs for you so it doesn't feel empty? Is there a delay in them all showing up because they had to load in from far enough away that you couldn't see them spawn in?
Do you ever notice how you don't notice things until you're close enough to them to notice them? I didn't see anybody in Starbucks until I went inside Starbucks. It was crazy. No, but I love this theory, man. I love simulation theory. I'm pretty on board with it too. I think. Yeah, because I mean, you've had the experience too where you like buy a new car and then you see that car everywhere. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto. You steal a car and then that car that you took in the game starts popping up everywhere. It's the same thing. It's weird. Also the split experiment, right? When you're actually witnessing it, it acts differently. It's all really weird to me, but bro, I'm just saying, like, why couldn't the simulation give me generational wealth? That'd be super cool. It's like make my great grandfather an oil baron or something.
Humans are a bunch of mutant slaves on a prison planet. According to the oldest document in existence, the Sumerian tablets, 7 beings called the Anunnaki came from heaven to earth and genetically modified humans in an outdoor laboratory called Eden, where they created the first man named Adamu to mine gold as a slave race so they didn't have to work. And if that sounds crazy to you, that's exactly how the 1% operates the global economy to this day.
Oh yeah, it's actually he makes a strong case here. He makes a really good point there. That is exactly how things still are. The working class being controlled by the reptilians. Or maybe it's not reptilians. Maybe they're all ascendants of the Anunnaki. Or maybe there are ascendants or actual Anunnaki still here pulling all the strings. Maybe they never left. Maybe some of them stayed. And now we're all working 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week to try to afford a mortgage for a house we can't afford, driving cars we can't afford to impress people we don't like and that don't care, trying to maintain an image that we're told we need to maintain to appeal to people that we don't know and we'll never meet. But I don't have to tell you that.
And this video is of a couple gentlemen who I think flew a balloon up to the atmosphere or up into space. And look what they film. Very interesting. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
It's water! Oh my god, it's water! Water! Oh my god!
1 second.
Oh my God!
It's like I thought. That's somebody skydiving into the water, and they're screaming because they're about to land in the water with skydiving equipment and a harness and a giant parachute with nothing to help them float. So they're worried. And also, I think if they were high enough to reach the so-called firmament, they would need an oxygen tank. I don't think just a parachute or whatever they're on is going to get them that high to actually read this or reach this so-called firmament that everybody talks about. But yep, it's just an upside down video.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome.
That's so stupid. Like, I don't understand why they would put, like, a lot of that shit's clearly fake, right? Like, I believe in space. I don't believe in flat Earth. I believe in planets and whatnot, but it's so stupid that they go through all this effort to fake this big lie. And I know people are going to be like, well, it's because they're trying to disprove the Bible, whatever. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like all the world governments lean pretty heavily into religion, so I don't know why they would want the Bible to be, like, disproven, I guess. But again, dude, like, put a little more effort in. Like, the chick with the hairspray, like, the very clearly hairsprayed, like, hair that's not flowing, like, at all, like it's in zero gravity or underwater or whatever. It's just, like, sticking straight up. It's so dumb. And you'd think they'd put more effort into the actual video effects, too. And you could say, you know, like, maybe the transmitting of the video makes the frames act up. So, like, when the guy, it looked like the guy's hand went through the orange, that could be just a technical issue, like a slow frame rate or something. But I don't know. Like I said, a lot of stuff is clearly fake, but I don't know, man. It's just so crazy to me. I just want to know what's going on. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. Again, thanks for bearing with me. I feel like hell right now. I'm so sniffly and my nose is stuffed up and I can't stop sneezing. And I'm a little lightheaded, actually. So wish me luck editing this video. Although you don't have to, because by the time you see this, it will be done. So until next time, peace.